Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Let's go to IKEA today to try... No, wait. Let me do this properly. I meant let's go to Sweden today to try, well, of course, Swedish meatballs, or köttbullar. Jokes aside, it can't be denied that the Swedish chain has hugely contributed to popularize this dish worldwide. And while I'm sure you can have a portion of meatballs at your local furniture shop, why not try and make your own? Okay, so what's needed to make authentic Swedish meatballs? Well, I would say the most peculiar ingredient is this, lingonberryjam. It's served on the side, but I do think it's a key part of this dish, as of many other Nordic dishes. So if you don't want to order it online like I did, or if you can't buy it in your local IKEA store, don't worry, as you can substitute it with cranberry sauce, for example, though I find the latter maybe a bit too tart, or with any other berry jam. Just don't tell the Swedes you did. But let's get going. I'll actually start from one of the side dishes, freshly pickled cucumber. After I've thinly sliced off a cucumber, I throw half a teaspoon of salt into a saucepan, along with 1 teaspoon of sugar, 100 milliliters of water, and 30 milliliters of vinegar. I reheat it just until the sugar dissolves. Then I pour the liquid over the sliced cucumber, and I can set this aside until the meatballs are ready. And now let's get to the actual meatballs. First of all, the minced meat. This is 500 grams, half beef and half pork, but it's also okay to use one kind only. Mine in this case are both 5% fat. Typically, a higher fat percentage is used to obtain softer meatballs, but I will compensate with a bit more breadcrumbs. So now I finely chop an onion and saute it in a dollop of butter for about 5 minutes, adding a pinch of salt to help it sweat until it's translucent. In a bowl, I combine 50 grams of breadcrumbs and 120 milliliters of milk. I wait about 5 minutes for the breadcrumbs to absorb the milk, and then I add the mincemeat, the sautéed onion, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of allspice, a bit of black pepper, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of mustard. I start mixing everything with a spoon, and then I switch to my hand to make sure spices and flavors are incorporated well into the meat. That's done for now, and I will store it in the fridge for about an hour while I work on the rest of the dish. I've peeled half a kilo potatoes, I dice them, and I boil them in salted water until tender. As they're diced, they should be done in 15 to 20 minutes. And now let's work on the gravy. Typically, it's done with a roux, in other words flour cooked in butter, but I'm preparing a corn flour slurry instead. It will serve the same purpose, which is to thicken the gravy. It's simply 1 heaped tablespoon of corn flour in half a glass of water. Here's about half a liter of beef stock, to which I add 1 tablespoon of Worcester sauce, 150 milliliters of single cream, and the corn flour slurry. I will let this simmer on low heat for at least half an hour. This will be plenty of time to prepare the meatballs. I've taken the meat out of the fridge, and I wet my hands with a bit of water to prevent the mixture from sticking to them. The meatballs can be any size you want, but generally they're relatively small. I'd say about 4 centimeters, like these ones. And this is it, they're all ready now. So I add some vegetable oil and some butter to a frying pan. This one is particularly large so that I can fry all the meatballs at once, but they can also be fried in 2 or more batches. Obviously, I turn them from time to time so that they cook all around, but also to make sure that they keep a round shape, as they're particularly soft. It should take about 10 to 15 minutes for the meatballs to cook through on low heat, but it depends on the size. In the meantime, I get back to my potatoes. I mash them, and then I add 120 milliliters of cream and 50 grams of butter. I transfer the pot on the hob, and on low heat, I stir until butter and cream are well incorporated. Let's also check for salt. I think half a teaspoon more will do. And now back to the gravy. I would say perfect, but if you want it thicker, you can add a bit more cornstarch. Just remember to mix it with a little water before you throw it in. You can also add some black pepper to it if you want. My meatballs are ready too, and all that's left to do is to plate them with the mashed potatoes. I'll also add the cucumber, which I've strained to remove the excess vinegar, the lingonberry jam, and of course, the gravy. Simply mouth-watering. The meatballs are already soft and tasty on their own, but the gravy takes them to a new level of scrumptiousness. Same goes for the butter and cream in these mashed potatoes. And yes, I was a bit skeptical about the lingonberry jam, this being the first time I make this dish with this Swedish staple, but I must say it does complement both meatballs and mashed potatoes very well. So, are you going to try it? Maybe with your own favorite jam? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. So, where are we going next?